Hello and welcome to The Power of No, the live series. I'm Helen Renevik. I'm a visionary coach and consultant and the creator of The Power of No without guilt. It's a program designed to help high achieving givers to set boundaries clearly and confidently without the guilt. And today's episode is one I'm very excited about because sometimes boundaries aren't spoken, they are sensed. They show up in what we walk away from, in how we honor our energy and our values and our vision. So I'm joined by Alex Collard. He's a talented artist, a creative entrepreneur, and a connector. And he founded the first English speaking BNI chapter here in Sweden that I'm a proud member of. And he leads the Charity Art Expo and brings bold, intuitive leadership to every space he enters. So, together today, we are going to explore what it means to say no, not out of fear or resistance, but from a deep knowing that not everything is meant for you. So, welcome, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Helen, and thank you for the introduction. It's really nice to be here. It's really nice to be invited. So, as I always say, gratitude is number one. And I always love to start an interview or a meeting with gratitude. So, thank you.
Thank you. So we call this, I always ask, my guest, what can we call this? Because the power of no without guilt can, bring up a lot of things. So Alex has said, no, say no to no. So it's the art of letting go without guilt. So that's what we call this today. And I ask every guest that comes on here, when you hear that phrase, the power of no without guilt, what does it bring up for you? Both personally, professionally. Just share a little bit. What does it bring up for you?
hmm Yes, of course. We had a little talk on LinkedIn to share some ideas, and this is a good concept that resonated with both our lives and our philosophies. So I think the power of no without guilt is a belief that if something is not meant to happen, it is not meant to happen. So I believe in spirituality. I believe there is a higher power. And if something is not lining up properly, or if all the elements are not in sync, then it's not my fault.
Not your fault.
It's not my fault. So then I don't have any responsibility in the manner, in the project, because then I can let go. So this is my philosophy on various projects and concepts and exhibitions, for example. So if there is a space that I want to exhibit at, and then there is something else that happens, and then I have to say no, this is not in my best interest, or it's going to be complicated. And then I have my trajectory, I have my line of my timeline that is predestined, let's call it like that. And I know what is a distraction.
Mm.
So,
And
because
that's very important for people just to feel into that. So it doesn't get a distraction. And you accept, okay, I accept this, you know, it wasn't there for me, but then maybe not bad. And then something better will show up.
yes, exactly. It was like a Phoebe from Friends, the TV show from Friends.
Yeah, yes, yes.
She just before she got the role, she was rejected by another movie that she was really excited about, and she was like, "This is the role of my life," and she got rejected, and then she got Friends. So, some things are not meant to happen, so that something better can happen.
So you shared here a little bit that you know you don't set these hard boundaries, because that's, even when people say, "Oh, but Helen, no, no," but there's so much more behind that, you know. So you observe the values, your values, and the energy. So can you walk us through what that looks like in your life or in your creative work? Because that could maybe even be, you know, I don't know, when you paint, and you know, could maybe come up then too.
Of course, but I think it's about being healthy, like having a strong, calm and relaxed energy. And some things are like coffee. Like if I drink too much coffee, I start to shake and then I cannot paint. Exactly. And then my mind goes upside down if I drink too much. A little bit is okay, but
I agree with you. So I have my coffee in the morning.
yeah,
And again, you know, like you said, because I know when I used to drink a lot of coffee, I started, you know,
yeah,
shivering. So again, you know, listen to your body.
yeah, exactly.
You know, when do you feel good? So, you know, that's a very good example, even though I drink my coffee, because it's morning here. We're in Sweden and it's 9 o'clock here in the morning. So, you know, whenever you see this, this might be in the evening or whatever.
Hmm.
So
So this
what
is true.
helps you to know when something or someone is out of alignment, even if it looks like a good opportunity? Because sometimes, you know, something could be like, wow, that's great, but you know, maybe you feel it in your body, or you know, so how do you know? And what helps you to take that decision?
I think it's if people listen. So if I talk and they try to talk over me, or if they try to steer the conversation in a different way instead of being simple and answering the questions, because the dialogue is between listening and answering. So, for example, I have exhibitors at the expo, and it is difficult because, of course, we have bills to pay with the expo and the rent and everything and the assistants, and but sometimes we refuse artists, exhibitors, because they are complicated and they are demanding and it starts bad usually. And then
Mhm.
I say, okay, we stop right there. Let's try again at the next expo if you want, if you're available, because I've had too many bad stories with, and people always think, oh, it's magical, it's so beautiful. But as a business owner, we have to deal with clients. And sometimes if I see the signs, I say, okay, let's just, I'm sorry, but you cannot exhibit this time. Welcome next time, we try again.
So you described a little bit what I was going to ask, you know, how to let go without, so, you know, because again, like you said, you know, without guilt, because you shouldn't feel guilty when you let them go, or, you know, that it's causing a conflict. And like you said, you're an entrepreneur also, you're a business owner. Is there a difference between, you know, so creative, I mean, if you have an artist that is going to come, is that different than if you were dealing with, I mean, somebody in finance or whatever? Would it be different?
No, 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 I think it's the same. Because I treat people with the same respect and the same quality. And, having a business for 8 years is not only paying taxes in Sweden and being responsible, and, but it's also a philosophy and a state of mind of treating people at the same level, at the same quality of 5 star. Like, I worked in a hotel before as a concierge, so I know how to, yes, deliver a service and deliver quality. So
I
if,
like that what you're saying, because I usually tell people, "Oh, I don't have my own business," but you are your business. You know,
mhm,
even like you said, if you work as a concierge somewhere, I mean, you are your business. You're representing you wherever you are, not just as a business owner, but you. And also, do we? treat people the same. Yes, because you were coming from that side of gratitude, so it doesn't matter, because I'm sure when you worked as a concierge, maybe you were not treated the same by everyone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, I have some amazing stories
Share
from
one with, I mean, not so long, but
Yes, 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 of course. But there was one of them that stayed for 2 hours to argue with me about her credit card being stolen in another hotel. And then she was afraid that it would happen again in this hotel.
Mhm. So she had already put a scenario before, it happened.
Yes,
Mm.
exactly. And no kidding, for 2 hours, she was in front of me at the concierge station, talking and talking and talking.
And what did you do?
I just continued talking and I empathized
Yeah.
and I said, yes, it happened to me as well with another story similar about stolen goods. And then I continued. And, as a creative, this is the beauty that we
I
have.
love that. I love that. That creative, that created something that,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, exactly. And every argument is a new pathway in my neuronal connections in my brain.
Mm.
And so this is exciting for me to create ideas. So whatever it is, if it is an expo or if it is an argument, I'm happy to be stimulated.
I love that. I mean, I hope all the listeners here listen to that. You can be creative even in an argument.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, how great is that if we actually go in and, okay, how can I, be creative here, and hopefully, I mean, I don't know, but you wanted a good outcome for her.
hmm yes, exactly. At the end, I gave up. I called my supervisor. I just said, okay, ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
And she was still continuing her
Yeah,
her
she was good. And then, like projecting. This is
mm,
an also like a big
that's very
one.
important. Projecting, we can project our things. So, it comes back to the awareness. Is that what we want to do? Because it's usually just me projecting onto you, but and then as a receiver, if I know that, like you said, she was projecting, so it has nothing to do about you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's also with the power of no, it's just to
Mm,
have that awareness, and also knowing that other people are actually projecting their thought, feelings, and emotion onto you. So just that pause there, like, okay, how and what can I do for this to turn out in a totally different way? And just listen into yourself, and care about yourself, because if you care about someone else, I mean, in the power of no, it's all about putting boundaries. And as a giver, we love to give other people and help other people, but I can't forget about myself, because then that's not very kind to myself.
mhm.
So I have another question. I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
So you have created a life and business around your art. And how has saying no to distraction, I mean, you said a little bit about that, and small thinking and even self doubt protected your vision?
Mhm. So how saying no to that has protected my vision? But I think there is a to-do list.
Mm. Oh, you have a to do list.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me. Do I have it here? I have it on my. Okay, so I'm gonna share my technique of how I work.
That's great. So now everyone is going to have a technique how to do a to do list, or to.
To stop the distractions.
Mm,
And so it is very simple. On my phone, every time I have an idea or I want to achieve something, I think about it and I put it as an alarm clock.
mm,
So then every time I have a moment free for myself, I move the time of the alarm and I say, oh, I'm going to do this now. So then I have 10, 15 minutes and then I can delete it. And then if I'm at work, of course, I have the regular to do list
mm.
from.
Oh,
And
that's
then
a long list.
yeah. So I start on the phone with the alarms and then I write it down, and it's very simple to cross. Like, it's such a pleasure. And sometimes I do something and it's not on the list, and I write it and then I cross it. Like, oh, just
So
for
you like that crossing out?
yes, I'm like, I did it. Like, this little task is done. So yes, and then that helps me to stay away from distractions, because when I move the time of my alarm, it doesn't leave space for something else.
Hmm.
So then it rings, so instead of watching TV or playing video games, like I like to do sometimes when I have a moment, because it's part of the relaxation part, and that is really important. But during the day, instead of having a distraction, I have the alarm. I say, to-do list. Let's complete one of these tasks.
So
And
so do you do this every day? I mean, you make that list, or when do you set, do your list?
every time I have an idea, every time it comes to
Okay.
in the shower, when I wake up, when I make food, I'm like, I got a great idea. I'll put it in the alarm. And then the list becomes bigger and
So
bigger.
you know what I call that, because I also have that. I have an idea book, and I always tell people, write down your ideas.
Hmm.
And then what I do is to write on top, let me know when it's time to institute you, because I might have an idea today and it's not ready to be brought in until next year or whatever, and then I go over it. So I don't have, like, every day I have the alarm, because my to-do list are maybe a little bit different, but I have this, my idea book, so I can actually revisit it, because if I get an idea, like you got an idea too, it is it's going to happen, maybe or maybe not. It doesn't matter. I don't put into that, but it could be an idea for the future. So that's really interesting, but you put a timer on it.
Yeah. And then it keeps me present every day. Yeah, as a business owner, I work every day. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but how long do you keep it on your list?
until it's done. So it could be, 2 months, and then I add things, I delete things, and then I work on the alarm, basically.
Interesting. We have to do a whole show how people can do, because I do time blocking, so health is very important for me. It's very important for me. So that is also into my calendar.
Hmm.
Anything that I require to do. Maybe I want to paint or whatever. But do you put your so you Alex is also an artist. He makes amazing art. He comes from a background of architecture, and that's actually what attracted me to your enormous large paintings.
Hmm.
Do you put that into your list too?
I don't actually, because I have so many paintings for sale that are available, and they take a lot of space in my atelier, in my apartment. Like, you can see behind, they are 2 meters, and I have a little book as well. But so this is something that is different. The process of painting, because it requires me to go to the atelier, which is 10 minutes with the bus. But I am in, for 5 years, well, actually, since 2017. So for 7 years, I've been painting. So I created more than 200 artworks. Some are in the attic, some are behind the sofa
200.
here, some are at the atelier. And so now I am in a part of my career where I sell.
Mm.
So I have the gallery, I have the pop-up gallery, I have online on Artsy, the website Artsy. So I focus more on selling than painting. but of course I started two big ones, two new ones a month ago.
Oh.
Atelier, vertical because I sold one to New York, so now I replaced the format,
Mm.
two new ones. So they are drying because it's oil. It's oil painting. I started the background. So yes, it is. Um, now I have assistants at the gallery, so I don't have to be present at the gallery every day if I want. So yes, it changes if I have space to paint or not.
Mm. Interesting. Because, I mean, everyone, maybe some people would think, okay, I'm not in the creative mood.
Hmm.
And I hear, I'm an interior architect too, so, am I in the mood? But since last year, I went to this art therapy circle, and then it was not about me planning, but it was just, from the therapist words and this and what we just created. And someone was asking me, okay, but how do you know what to paint? And it's just, that feeling, whatever we saw. So it was not a planned. I mean, maybe yours are more planned, your art,
Hmm.
or it might come from these ideas you have.
Yes, yes, yes. No, it is planned. I finally found my style.
Mm.
So it is a mix of the artists Pierre Soulages, Sol Levitt, and Frank Stella. So it is geometric and abstract, and it's about the origin of humankind. And how did I find my style? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I wrote pages of text. So I was in the bus, I was in the metro, and I was actually watching a video with a coach on Facebook,
Mm.
someone similar to you, Helen,
Okay.
who advised me to stop doing commercial work and to focus on my big artworks and the concept. And so that's how I created pages of text to describe, is there life after death? Is it related to my family story? How do I tie it to my love for mythology and the ancient texts and the pyramids and the ziggurat and Babylon and written communication with cuneiform? What do I like? What do I don't like? And that's how it.
Mm. So you
I
have
forgot your
your you
question.
have your
Was there a
vision.
question?
No, no, that's really good because, maybe
Yes,
other artists are
yes.
are listening to this, and, how am I going to find, and I mean, I know because, since I know you, that has taken a long time for you to maybe find your vision and your style.
Exactly. Yes, but this is the
Mm.
solution.
Mm. Oh, good. So I have one. So for anyone who is listening who feels they are forcing connection that don't feel right, what's one mindset shift that helped you trust your timing and let it go gracefully? I mean, you said a little bit about, I mean, this could be anything, anything in your life, not just your paintings and this and whatever, but, to trust your timing and, is to let it go gracefully, that something that is connection or work or whatever it is.
Hmm. But I think the process is time and experience because if you fail a lot, you know what creates the failure. So, after having more than 48 exhibitions over the past 8 years, uh,
48. That's a
48, yeah,
many.
it's many exhibitions. I rented galleries, I knocked on the door of restaurants and hair salons, and I say, "Oh, you have empty white walls. Would you like to have my paintings on the walls?" and then I can have a vernissage. I can bring clients to you to discover your business, and it's a good exchange for the walls. So sometimes, it is about recognizing what is, if there's friction. If there is friction in the process, you start to understand that it's not meant to happen.
Mm.
So the more signs you have, the more negative signs. Well, maybe it's not meant for today. Maybe it's meant for tomorrow.
Mm.
So, for example, if you're doing accounting on New Year's Eve, like I did before on December 31st, alone in a hostel because I was homeless and so I was doing the accounting, and maybe this is not the right time because I was struggling with the numbers and the stuff. I was like, maybe I'll just give myself a little rest. I'll
Mm.
just relax a little bit.
To allow yourself to rest. I mean, not everyone does that.
Yes, exactly. And when I get overwhelmed as well, it's just my perception of the world
Mm.
that is twisted.
Mm.
It's not necessarily the world itself, but sometimes it is my fault, that I am not in alignment with my environment. I am not perceiving the world as I should because of my health. Like I said
Mm.
before, too much coffee, or so it is important to know as well, to sleep, to drink water, to relax, to do meditation, and then I'm ready for a good day of work.
Thank you for sharing that so gracefully. It's about that awareness of yourself, and also failures. If there's a failure, we can't learn from their learnings. I mean, we can't just go through life on a high all the time because being happy. I was telling someone yesterday, if we will have our dips, and that's how we will appreciate the highs. And life is like that, to just to go with the wave, and flow,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
follow that flow. And it will be different for me, for you, but when we find that, like you said, that alignment, that align with me, my body, my life, my thoughts, everything, and just follow that, because it will not look the same for everyone. Actually, nobody. We all have our unique thumbprints,
Mhm.
and that's maybe how our life can also be. I'm so grateful for you sharing, from an artist point of view, from a business point of view. And, please connect with Alex. He has so much knowledge and so much wisdom at a young age. And, from different parts of the world and this and whatever, which also impact us. We live in different places with different people. So, please connect, and Alex, share your books in the comments so people can go and see, because that's available all over the world. It's not just here in Sweden where we are. I mean, your galleries globally.
Mhm. Yes.
So please share that in the comments below. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, Alex, for such a grounded and inspiring conversation. I mean, I have no idea where these conversations are going to go when I get on. I have some questions, but you never know.
Mhm.
So you have reminded us of saying no isn't about shutting people out. It's about
Mhm.
staying true to yourself and your values that, you have done throughout your life until now. So, for everyone that is watching, I hope this gave you a new way to think about boundaries, not as hard walls. You can hang your art on hard walls, but they can even go in books, but as an invitation to honor what matter most. So, the power of no without guilt officially opens on the 25th of July. So until then, I'll be here sharing tools, stories from my own and from others, and these live conversation to help you reclaim your power, one aligned no at a time. So thank you for being with us here today. And again, thank you, Alex, for coming on live today.
Thank you so much. Very nice. And see you, everyone, on my website. I posted in the comments alexcolor.com. Or, yes, just contact me and I will be happy to help.
Thank you.